Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is going to have one of the biggest worlds in franchise and gaming history, and it's going to feel even larger knowing that we won't have any cars or planes to get us to our destinations.
Or will we? Okay, probably not. But with a vast open world such as post-apocalyptic Hyrule, transportation is going to play an important part in defeating Calamity Ganon. With every past Zelda game having different modes of transportation, it's very likely we'll see all of these options and possibly more inside Breath of the Wild.
When we think about transportation in a Zelda game, the first thing that comes to mind is a horse. Not just any horse, however. Epona has been Link's trusty mare since Ocarina of Time, but she has only appeared in 3 other games: Majora's Mask, Minish Cap, and Twilight Princess, so it has been 10 years since we've seen her in a main series Zelda title. Yeah, she's had a better role in Hyrule Warriors than any other game, but that unfortunately doesn't count, so get over it. But will she appear in Breath of the Wild? After all, her appearance was all but confirmed in the very first trailer of the game in 2014, and even more so when Miyamoto said her name out loud in the Game Awards demo later that year.
Oh, Epona, long time no see.
The November 2015 Nintendo Direct gave us the closest look we've ever seen at Epona, and there's more to her than meets the eye. But is it really Epona, or just a tamed wild horse?
Alongside the saddle, there are bags and satchels, which aren't hard to see in previous trailers and current gameplay footage. They could just serve as aesthetics, but maybe not. Perhaps you'll be able to expand your inventory slots by giving Epona storage options of her own. Just imagine how much more you'd be able to carry with an extra set of bags on your horse. You could also use some extra arrows on your person in order to inflict greater damage on guardians. Epona or other wild horses will serve as a useful ally in combat, as displayed from the first trailer to this footage from E3 2016. She will literally not hit anything because, as stated by series producer Eiji Aonuma,
real horses don't run into trees very often.
These autopilot controls could prove useful considering it's always been hard to drive and shoot in, I don't know, every game ever. Link can also jump off of Epona to do some sick bullet time arrow shooting. But will the horses differ in terms of behavior in this game, and will there be upgradable horses similarly to weapons?
In other words, how will you acquire Epona is the real question. In the E3 2016 trailer, we saw Link sneak up to a horse to begin taming it, similar to how you get a horse in Red Dead Redemption. This must mean that the only way we'll get Epona is by catching her, or perhaps buying or even stealing her. Usually, we begin the game with her or visit Lon Lon Ranch to win her. We may also be able to change her name from Epona to something else. We ironically don't know much about how Epona's part will be played in Breath of the Wild, and yet it's the form of transportation we know most about in the game. Of course, she's definitely not the only way to get around Hyrule.
The Nintendo Treehouse demo had Link hop on a raft and use a Korok leaf to get it going. This only hints that there will be more than just creaky old rafts to travel by water. The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker had Link traveling the Great Sea with the King of the Red Lions, an anthropomorphic boat who turned out to be King Daphne's Nohensin Hyrule. But that's not important right now. What is important is the fact that The Wind Waker had players solely rely on the sea travel using the wind as our guide, and thank the goddesses for the swift sail in the Wii U version. Chances are we'll see a return of this form of transportation in Breath of the Wild, and more than just a raft on a river.
In the maps seen at the Game Awards demo and the E3 demo, we can confirm that besides rivers, there are very large bodies of water present in Hyrule. These include lakes, one of which has to be Lake Hylia, and the surrounding sea. We can see glimpses of these in the E3 2016 trailer featuring shirtless Link. It is likely to assume that Link will have a vast array of rafts and boats at his disposal in Hyrule. The first one was even present in the demo. Rafts, sailboats, rowboats, and maybe even ships. Just think of how awesome it would be to set out to the open sea in a vessel of our own. We are also pretty damn curious as to what the heck this skull-shaped island is. Maybe King Kong is waiting for us there as a boss. Or Donkey Kong, same thing.
Speaking of Assassin's Creed 4, Breath of the Wild could see the addition of naval battles. Will they have the same epic set pieces as Black Flag? Probably not, but we wouldn't hold it against Nintendo to give it a shot after what they've pulled off with this game to this point. Wind Waker already had a form of naval battles with the cannon. It allowed Link to break into the Forsaken Fortress and shoot sharks, because of course they're not endangered enough already. Not only that, but the crane allowed for picking up hidden treasures below the surface. It would be smart for Breath of the Wild to incorporate a similar feature. Considering the nature of this game, you could probably find something as important as a fire rod down there.
Every Zelda fan wants to know, what on earth that floating isle is in the sky? Is it the Skyloft? Is it the city in the sky where the Oka reside? Perhaps it's a brand new area with a new race of people. Or maybe the Rito, if our timeline theory is correct. The existence of such an isle only confirms that Breath of the Wild will feature some form of travel by flying. We already know something like that exists with the paraglider, which is a replacement of the sailcloth shown at the Game Awards. It is rewarded to Link by the old man once he completes all the shrines on the Great Plateau. This will allow him to descend from the plateau to Hyrule, which kind of goes against the claim that you can go straight to the castle from the very beginning. While the glider isn't even used for flying, Link will be able to light grass on fire to create an updraft, thus lifting the glider higher. This will make getting to the top of hills and mountains faster than climbing. Speaking of that, climbing was a feature we didn't even know we needed in a Zelda game, let alone an open world game such as this. No more climbing a mountain by consistently jumping.
All of these features are incredible, but it does not seem likely that any of them will be able to propel Link far enough to get to that isle. In Twilight Princess, he used a cannon to get up to the city in the sky. It's likely the same thing can happen in Breath of the Wild, but we certainly hope not. While effective, it is far from creative, and we know Nintendo EAD3 is smarter than that. The only likely solution we see fit is the reappearance of loft wings from Skyward Sword. These large birds were the prime form of transportation in Skyloft, only they couldn't make it through the thick clouds covering the surface. To be quite fair though, nothing could. Large birds were also in Twilight Princess, and they assisted Wolf Link in getting upstream to Zora's domain. Let's also not forget about Kaepora Gaebora, the helpful owl who would take Link back to Hyrule Field. Any of these options are likely, unless they surprise us with something new.
It's a rarity for open world games to not feature a fast travel system. Thankfully, Breath of the Wild isn't one of those games. The Sheikah Towers serve not only as vantage points, but beacons to warp to and from. However, the Resurrection Shrine is also a fast travel point, so the towers may not be the only markers available for warping to. Even though it's convenient, we'll probably be using these travel points as little as possible considering we want to explore the vastness of Hyrule itself.
The world of Breath of the Wild is vast and full of endless possibilities. We hope that the ways of transportation will only add to the fun of playing. With Epona, rafts, the paraglider, and the likelihood of ships and loft wings, we can't wait to see what other transportation options are available. So tell us, what form of transportation are you looking forward to using in the game? Let us know in the comments section below.
Don't forget to tune in to our next episode of Inside Breath of the Wild when we discuss dungeons and shrines. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, be sure to like, comment, and share this video. We would also appreciate it if you subscribed for more theories on Breath of the Wild and the Nintendo NX. And with that, this has been Commonwealth Realm,
Zeltik,
And Bobby, the Nintendo Guru.
and we'll see you, girls and guys, soon.